Barnet U3A in Greater London is a thriving group. Its members have been busy setting up a wide array of activities. Just the ticket for people who plan to make the most of their retirement. Like Susan Pfeiffer and Ruth Alexander.
I was saying to someone today that I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't discovered U3A. I find this, with all the people I've met, we cannot sit at home. I think there must be some sort of fear that we might end up in our dressing gowns watching daytime television or something.
I always enjoyed what I was doing in work, but I knew there were lots of things that I wanted to do. So when the opportunity came up, I took early retirement, and one of the things I wanted to do was join U3A.
Well, I'd like to try patchwork.
Susan took up quilting, table tennis and mahjong and joined a book group. But she is also a self-taught genealogist and author of a U3A guide to researching family history.
Actually, I came into family history quite a strange way. I'd always been really interested in computers, and I saw a family tree programme and I thought, oh, my mother had dozens of cousins. I'll bring this home and have a go. And unfortunately, like a lot of hobbies, once you get into it, it becomes a lifelong obsession.
Susan has been piecing together her family's past.
These are photographs that belong to my grandmother. I have a note here, it just says, could this be Miriam Pfeiffer, the sister of Joe and Dave? And what I've only found recently is I've got a copy of the 1911 census for another family in London, and she is living with them as an apprentice dressmaker. So, like a jigsaw puzzle, you make yourself a note and you'll find the missing piece later.
Sue wanted to share her new skills and set up Barnet U3A's first family history group. That's how Ruth got started.
When I joined Sue's class originally last year, I thought it was very interesting, but I didn't really get going. And then Sue and I met up and she gave me a kick. And I then was encouraged, and I then did a bit more research and found valuable information. My grandmother, who apparently was 12 when she came to this country, was the oldest of 8, and there were her 7 other siblings. And the youngest at that point was 2.5, and he was born in London, but the rest were born in the Ukraine. It all came to life, you know, and it makes you want to go on and on, you know.
That's what makes it interesting, because family history is not just about the pedigree. So it's not just the names and the dates. It's not about pedigree, dogs and horses. This is about how people lived and how ordinary people lived.
For the Barnet members, as in all groups, U3A is all about leadership from the bottom up.
There's a wonderful woman. She was a new member. Within a month, she'd started her own group. And that's not an isolated example. There are lots of people who come in and just do it.
What I like is that this is all almost below the government radar. So U3A, as far as I'm aware, doesn't get funding from government. Therefore, in a way, it's not subject to the same cuts. And it's quite cheap to run because we meet in each other's houses and, where possible, we teach each other, unless it happens to be something that needs a specialist teacher, like 1 or 2 things do.
Susan's most recent group came about after a chance encounter.
6 weeks ago, I was walking past a music shop and I saw a ukulele in the window and I thought, like you do, I want one of those. Went in and bought one. When I came home, I thought, well, I could either have lessons paid for or I could buy a book. And then I thought, hang on, I'm a member of U3A, I'll put a note in the bulletin and see if anybody else wants to learn.
It turns out that Barnet has quite a few budding ukulele players. Having chosen one member as musical director, they're learning chord by chord. It's so popular that people are queuing up to join.
The group is already full, and I now have somebody who says she can host a second group if we get enough people. So, despite everybody laughing, we've got a group going, and it's really fun.
Susan Pfeiffer's enthusiasm for learning is typical of U3A members.
She's wonderful and very inspiring. She's got this enthusiasm for everything. She's apparently learning the ukulele and is a very keen patchwork doer as well. And she's inspired me to do that too. And I've got quite excited about it.
What, the ukulele?
No, the patchwork. Oh, no, ukulele, no, I don't think that would be quite my thing. But who knows, it might be. You never know anything in this life.